together with Earle Sports Bets. Yeah, the twins, they be checking in. Stacking up green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah. It's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle, and it's just going to be yours truly today. Tim on his way to Greenville, so he'll be driving during the show. He'll probably be in the chat, but it's just going to be me breaking down all of today's NFL games and our NHL games as well. We've already had an NHL game go off this morning. It was a whatever result. I pushed. I had the Leafs -1. They had a 2-goal lead heading into the third period, and they won in overtime. William Nylander ending the Sweden games the correct way with the Swedish player scoring the game-winning goal. It was almost Joel Eriksson-Ek. He had a good wide open shot there at the end, but William Nylander coming in with a nice little backhand, front hand, short side against Marc-Andre Fleury to win that game. A great goal there. But we have NFL today. We have 4 NHL games. That's all I'm going to go over. I am not even looking at the NBA at the moment. I'll get back to looking at the NBA on Monday. So it'll just be that. But before we get into today's games, before we get into today's slate, we'll take a look back at what happened yesterday. 1-1 right, 1-1 wrong in the world of sports betting. And the drought continues. My last winning day was last Sunday. It's been frustrating. Just one of those streaks where nothing goes right. Went 10-17, down 1.82 units in college football. A lot of those losses were money line sprinkles. BYU +24 gets there, but the 1150 money line sprinkle loses. FAU +10 and the 280 money line sprinkle loses. ECU +3 and the 122 money line loses. Middle Tennessee loses -7.5. They win by 4. Rice gets the job done. They were -135. They blow them out. West Virginia -6.5 gets the winning cover. Utah gets blown out. UAB gets the winning cover. Nevada gets the cover but loses outright. They lose by 10, but they covered the 12. Duke -3.5 loses outright. Tennessee +10.5 was a loser. Moneyline sprinkle was a loser. They looked good on the first play of the game. And then decided that's all we need. And that's not all they needed for Georgia. Iowa, money line got the job done, -155. I said that I would take the money line over the spread because I could see them winning by 2 points in this game, and that's exactly what they did. NC State +3 and +132 get the job done. They went outright against Virginia Tech. Marshall +10.5, +320 money line sprinkle was a loser. Kansas State -7.5 was a loser. Georgia +11 was a winner. The money line sprinkle should have gotten there. They had a chance to end the game on 4th and 17, and Mizzou converts, gets down to field goal range, gets the field goal, wins the game. South Carolina money line gets there. Syracuse +7, +205. They got it close at the end there and did not get the job done. In college basketball, I only had one play yesterday. 1-0 up half a unit. Minnesota Golden Gophers -11.5 was a winner. And in hockey, 4-6-1. Very frustrating on one of these games, but Ottawa money line got the job done earlier in the morning there against the Wild. The over did not get there though. Vegas Philadelphia under 6 was a loser. Blackhawks +171 was a loser. Edmonton Tampa Bay over 7 winner. Rangers winner. Penguins loser. Caps -1 pushed. They were up 3-1. They gave up a goal late. Did not get the empty netter. We'll get to that game last. Canucks -1 was a loser and somehow got the under 6.5 in LA and St. Louis. It was 4-0 at the end of the first. It finished 5-1. So that was nice. And then the Dallas Stars were up 3-0. They wouldn't even cover the puck line. Game finished, I think, 5-3 or 6-3. So, yeah, it is what it is. Blown leads, though, are very, very frustrating. But 4-6-1, down 2.54 units in the NHL. 15-23-1, down 3.86 units overall. 182 to 203 and 11, down 10.31 units in November. So, what was once a month where I was up 16 units, now down 10, because I haven't had a winning day since last Sunday. Hopefully today that changes. We got some NFL to go over. We got a nice slate there, so we'll get into it. But we'll head over to the chat, and then we will get into some NFL and NHL for the day. Marco saying, what's up, guys? Let's get it. Let's cash today. Hit the like button, people. Show some appreciation, subscribe, and share. Tim A. Got some NCAA, NFL, and NBA. Let's go. Value. Yep. Best betting day of the week. Good Sunday. There you go. Morning, I laid some juice with Toronto money line. Never in doubt. Yeah, I should have just laid the money line. I'll take the push on the -1 at this point. A push is a win. So morning. Yep. Nope, not in chat. Nope, Tim's definitely not in the chat. My bad. Morning, Untouchable. What a third period meltdown for Leafs rag. That was frustrating. Yeah, it was frustrating. Let's see. Got the live money line for a small loss, but overall a good game. I didn't watch until like 6 minutes left in the third because I was sleeping. So let's see. Lost a 2K 6-teamer because the over and coast. That sucks. -2.5 Mississippi State, -3.5 South Alabama. I'm assuming these are college basketball lines. Let me get up college basketball here. I do have 5 players in college basketball today. South Alabama, I have it at 5. So at 3.5, I would lean in that direction. Wasn't enough for me to bet it. And Mississippi State. I don't have who's Mississippi State playing because I don't see them on the list here. I don't think they had a line available or yesterday for them, or I don't have the Mississippi State game on the on my spreadsheet because there was no line for it. Auburn got smashed by New Mexico State. That was crazy. Bad beat plus 20.5 Utah. We scored 20 seconds left, and dang. Yes, that under in LA St. Louis helped. Yep. That's how a team secures a win. Good on LA for their defense. Yeah, absolutely. Football Sunday. Let's go, LJ. Homer parlay, ECU money line, Jets money line, Broncos money line, Sabres money line. Good God. All NCAA are on the site. Correct, they are. They are all on the site. They are. Let's get into it here, and this is an interesting game to start with. This game has been all over the place. Let's get into it here, and I'm going to add more to this. I do already have a bet in this game, and unfortunately, the side I'm on was not the side I wanted, or that's not the side that you would want to bet early in the week. This line opened up at a -4.5 for the Cleveland Browns. No, that was the look-ahead line. Line opened up at a -4. Line opened up at a minus. Let me see what I'm looking for the 12th. The 12th. Or 13th. Yeah, the line opened up at a 4. Deshaun Watson was announced out for the rest of the year, and it went down to a 2.5, down to a 2, down to a 1.5, down to a pick 'em. Since then, there has been some buyback on on Cleveland, and they've gone back up to a -2. The cash flow, I don't think is going to help us too much in this game, but let's get into it here, where we have, if I can find the game, there we go. We have 69% of the tickets, nice, and 75% of the cash is on the Steelers in this game. The line only moved because of injuries, so I don't know how much you can really read into these numbers. 68% of the tickets, 80% of the cash on the under. My line for this game on this is with Watson. Keep that in mind. Is -6.5 for Cleveland. So DTR is definitely a downgrade, but is he enough of a downgrade for me to say that there's no value on the Browns? No. And I got the Browns earlier in the week at -4, unfortunately, before the Watson news. I will be adding some more Browns action here. I'm going to grab the -132 money line for the game. I should grab the -125 earlier. They were -125 earlier this morning. I should have grabbed them then, but -132. I wanted some Cleveland money line here, and that's exactly what I'm going to grab. Cleveland, I think, still wins this game. Pittsburgh has been a team that has been outgained in every single game, and that's eventually going to cost you. And actually, I think that comes to an end today. I think they get – or my bad. No, that doesn't come to an end today. My bad. Cleveland definitely outgains them because Cleveland's defense is – I think Cleveland's defense is going to be the reason they win this game. They are, I believe, number 1 in the league in yards allowed, number 1 in the league in they're number 1 in the league in total yards allowed, number 1 in the league in passing yards allowed, number 7 in rushing yards allowed, number 6 in points allowed. I think they're going to be able to this is going to be probably a very conservative game call for the Browns. Obviously, the total down to a 34.5 makes sense with the injuries. I see them pounding the rock today and playing good defense. Like I see this being one of those 17-13 type of games where not much goes on offensively. Cleveland does enough to get the job done. Cleveland Pick'em is part of my Cappers contest. That is the first pick. My Cappers contest for today. I already had the Ravens on Sunday, and the Browns are my second pick for today. Or my second pick, but my first pick for today. So Browns money line for me on this game. And I got Browns earlier in the week as well. Nuggets, not Brown. I'm not dumbass. I'm not sorry. I wasn't thinking about NBA. Apologize. North Texas -4 playing Towson. Let's see. Good old Towson Tigers. I have that game at a 6. So there's value on North Texas. Tim, tell him to get on the show now. He's driving. He can't be on the show while driving. That's not safe. Just under, no sides, fair, and Browns. We'll move on. This is Cappers contest play number 2 for me. We'll get into this one here. Houston Texans and the Arizona Cardinals. Line opened up, or let's take a look here. Look ahead line was -4.5 on the 7th. Opening line was -6, and then it's gone. It went all the way down to a 4, and now it's back down to a 5. It's back up to a 5.5. I think the immediate betting action there is seeing Kyler play again. Look ahead line was 46. Opening line was 47. It's up to a 48. So a move towards the over and a move. Well, it's a half-point move towards the half-point line movement towards the Cardinals, but when it opened up at 6, I got in at 4. I got in at 4 with the Texans here. Public loving the Cardinals in this game. 67% of the tickets, 75% of the cash is on Arizona in this game. 82% of the tickets, 62% of the cash is on the over. The line has moved towards the over in this one. The line has moved slightly towards the Cardinals, but the initial action was on the Cardinals in this game, and there has been some buyback on the Texans here. My line for this game is -7.5 for the Texans here. I see value on this team. And the Texans have been a nice little surprise so far this year. They're 5-4 ATS. So, I mean, they're not world beaters, but they're coming in on 3 of 4 wins. Their only loss was in Carolina, which is still kind of a stunning loss there. I did have Carolina money line in that game, but that's still a stunning loss. They beat the Bengals last week, the Buccaneers the week before. They're on a 2-game win streak. Yeah, Arizona, is now 2-8. They won last week 25-23 in Kyler Murray's return. Do I think all their problems are solved though? No. I kind of lean over in this game. I think that this could be a little bit of a shootout. I like the Texans though in this game. Texans team total could be an interesting look as well. 21.5 or 27.5, my bad. 21.5 is Arizona, 27.5 plus money. I see the offense clicking here for Houston, who has scored at least 30 points in back-to-back games. I could see them do that again here in this one. I like the Texans to cover the number. I got them at 4. I would play them up to 6. So it's kind of where I'm looking at for this game. LJ, I know you do PPR, so thoughts on Pollard over 66.5. Second string running back, doubtful, playing Panthers, gives up 135 rush yards per game. It's not a bad look. Them good old spicy nuggets, yep. Leading Cleveland and under 34. Okay, Tim, be safe. We'll see you soon, my guy. Yep. Arizona plus and lean over. I would lean over in the game, but I'm on the Texans. Utah State minus 3.5. It's 4.5 now. Let's see, Utah State. I have that game at a 5.5. So kind of makes sense there for that one. Devin Singletary touchdown. All right. And Texans losing to Carolina was definitely a stunning loss, but they did help. It did, but did help them. The field. Yep. If Stroud is supposed to be an MVP candidate, he should mash. He's going to be the rookie of the year. I don't know about MVP. He's been very good, though, this year. Let's get in here. This is kind of a weird line. This line's gone down to a 2.5 for the Chargers here. Total of 44 in this spot. Chargers and Packers in this game. We have the look-ahead line -3. Opening line -4. It's down to a 2.5. 3 juiced, or it's either 3 or 2.5 juice. Shop your lines around depending on who you want. Opening or look ahead line 42, opening line 44.5, current line 44. So since the opening line, it's gone down 0.5 point. Since the look ahead line, it's gone up 2.5 points. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game with 41% of the tickets, 49% of the cash is on the under. The line has moved 0.5 point towards said under. We have 68% of the tickets, 54% of the cash is on the Chargers, but yet the line has gone down to a 2.5, which is kind of weird. Kind of tells me maybe this could be a Green Bay spot. Markets are kind of pointing towards Green Bay. My number for this game is a 1.5 for the Chargers. So I do see some value here with the Packers here in this game. Packers +3 is -122. Is this something I'm looking to get involved with? Not particularly. Packers money line +140 is kind of interesting there. Maybe just taking a shot at the gusto and ignoring the points. That could be a nice little play there. Am I looking to play this though? Probably not. It's a lean towards the Packers in this game. It's a lean towards the under in this game at 44. The Packers have been, I believe, a decent under team so far this year. 4-5, and actually the Chargers have been 3-6 over under this year. So both these teams have been decent under teams. The Chargers coming in off of that 41-38 loss against the Lions. So maybe they want to tighten up defensively. Previous to that, they had played 6 straight unders, which is kind of interesting there. The Packers have played they went over the total last week of 38.5, 23-19 against the Steelers. Previous to that, they had played to 4 straight unders. Makes me think the under is worth a look in this game. Actually, I kind of want to play the under in this game. I will play the under in this game. Under 44. Chargers and Packers. I'm going to take a shot with that in this game. So first show ad for me is the under 44 here between the Packers and the Chargers. Under 44 for that one. Let's head back to the chat. Miami first half -6.5. No. I am on the Raiders. Yeah, I know Miami Hurricanes football screwed me yesterday, but basketball didn't seem bad. -2.5. Do they play today? Is that you asking about Miami for today? I have that game at a 1.5, so I see a little bit of value with the Wildcats, KSU. But we'll move on here. Just this beauty of a matchup: the New York Giants and the Washington Commanders in this spot. Commanders -9-point favorites, total 38.5. Look ahead line 36.5, opening line 37.5, now a 39. So a move towards the over in this game is kind of interesting there. Look ahead line at 8, opening line at 10. It's down to a 9. So a slight move towards the Giants here on this spot, and about 2-point inflation, or about 2-point inflation from the opening line. It's actually down to an 8.5 now. 47% of the tickets, 79% of the cash, or 73% of the cash is on the Giants. So big bets coming in on the New York Giants, and I kind of see them potentially as a live dog in this game. 68% of the tickets, 62% of the cash is on the under, but yet this line's moving towards the over, suggesting maybe we do see some points in this game. Now, the Giants have been one of the better under teams in the league this year. 2-8 over under this year. They did go over in their last game, kind of gave up though. 49-17 loss against the Dallas Cowboys, an absolute blowout loss. They were 17.5-point underdogs in said game there. Previous to that, they lost 30-6 against the Raiders, to 13-10 against the Jets. On the flip side, the Commanders have played to overs in 2 of their last 3 games, with a 29-26 loss against the Seahawks and a 38-31 loss against the Eagles a couple weeks ago. And something tells me this game goes over. All the money coming in on the under, but yet this line ticking up to a 39 is kind of interesting there. I don't have any faith in the Giants covering a number, but I have this game at a 4. Now, probably with DeVito, it should be more like a 6. Still, there's some value with the Giants. Am I going to play the Giants plus the 8.5? No. Am I? Oh, I think I found the play for the game, though. I am going to take the Giants team total over 13.5. I think they can give me 2 touchdowns in this game, and I'm going to take the full game over 39, which sounds ugly because it is ugly. But with the market moving the way it is, it tells me they anticipate points in this matchup. So I'll take a shot here with a couple overs here in the spot, which overs in Giants games have not been great, and I'm well aware of that. But when the line is ticking up, even though all the money coming in on the under, tells me that the markets are not scared of that under money. And sharp money coming in on the Giants. I'm not going to ask the Giants to cover 8.5 points for me. I'll ask them to score me 2 touchdowns. And they did that last week, and this could easily be one of those games where they're down, 34-10, and they go down and score a touchdown, puts the game over, and they put up 14 points and not cover the number. So New York Giants team total over 13.5, and then the full game over 39 as well. In this game, full game over 39. Let's head back to the chat. Under 51.5 Packers game and Houston by 2.5 parlay. I don't hate that at all. I did play Giants money line and Panthers first half, only $5 though. Giants money line's an interesting look. I'm not going to trust them to win a game. I'm not going to trust them to do anything like that. It's just the team total for me. Give me 14 points, Giants. I'm not asking too much. Tennessee Titans and Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars 6.5-point home favorites, total 39.5 in this game. Let's get into this matchup here. We have this line. Look ahead 6. Opened up at 6.5. And it's kind of hung around 6.5 the entire week. I did see 7s a couple times, but not obviously not a 7. Now, if you want a 7 for the Titans, it is minus 121, which is not bad. Look ahead line 40.5. Opening line 40. Now to 40.5. So a half point line movement towards the over, and no line movement on the side, which is kind of interesting there. Jacksonville, 72% of the tickets, only 45% of the cash. So public all over the Jaguars in this game. 62% of the tickets, 73% cash on the over. Lines moved up half a point. The Jaguars, not particularly a team I trust as a favorite. My line for this game is minus 5.5 range. So I do see a little bit of value here with the Titans. If I do bet the Titans, it's going to be -7 or +7 at minus 121. I'll grab that most likely. The Jaguars as a favorite is not great. Here's the thing though, the Jaguars are 3-0 on the road. They're only 1-3 at home. Their only home win was against the Colts. Now they are coming in off of that embarrassing blowout loss, 34-3 against the 49ers. And people, you can easily say this is a good bounce back spot for them. Maybe they're just not that good of a football team. And I get it, they're 6-3. But they're coming in off of 5 straight wins, which those were very impressive. Going to London, winning both their London games, coming back home, winning, and then winning the Thursday night game too. Situationally, those were all terrible spots, and they got the jobs done in all of those, which was kind of interesting there. The Jaguars do get the Texans next, which is interesting there. This has been primarily a Titans-dominated series, but this is the one of the better teams we've seen from the Jaguars. The Jaguars as favorites this year of more than a field goal, covered against the Colts, did not cover against the Texans in an outright loss. So that's the only 2 times they've been favorites there. I don't know. This just feels like one of those where the Texans or the Titans cover this number. Public all over the Jaguars. I definitely do not want Jacksonville in this game, and I can get the Titans +7 at minus 121. I'm going to do that. I'm going to grab the Titans +7 and sprinkle the +255 as well for Tennessee in this game. I think this line's too wide, and we're getting a good price with Tennessee here. So Tennessee +7 minus 121, and money line +255. So that's where we're going to go for this game. Titans +7 and the sprinkle, of course, on said money line. Here we go. Hurricanes -2. All right. Jags -6.5. Go with the herd. I'm already on the opposite side. I got 7 the other way. 7 the other way. Let's move into this one. I do have action on this one already. We have the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. The Lions 8-point favorites, total 48 in this game. Let's get into the line history in this spot where we have this line, look ahead line for this game. If it'll click, there we go. Look ahead line for this game, -8 for Detroit. Opening line for this game, -10. It's come down to a -8. It did get down to a 7.5, 7 range yesterday. I got down to a 7.5 range yesterday, and it's not because of money. That line move there. It is because of Justin Fields getting announced that he's most likely playing in this game. So that's the reason behind the move on that game. Look ahead line 45 for the total. Opening line 47 for the total. It's up to a 48. So a line move towards the over in this game as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow for this game. Now with Justin Fields in, that makes things very difficult, but 34% of the tickets, 63% of the cash is on the Bears. So it looks like the bigger bet's coming in on the Bears. 50% of the tickets, 68% of the cash is on the under in this game. The line moving up too, which is kind of interesting as well. And looking at this spot, I'm not going to get involved with the total. the total seems kind of tricky here because I can see the Lions putting up enough points for the over. I don't know about the Bears though. My line for this game though was Lions -10, and this line dropping just because of Justin Fields. I don't know if that's completely worth it. I got 7 at -125 with the Lions. At 8, I probably wouldn't play it, but I got 7 -7 -125 with the Lions. I did like them at 7. If you like the Lions, you want a piece of the Lions, you can get them at all the way. You can get them teased down to -2. And you can tag them along with the Minnesota Vikings at 8.5. You can tag them along with the Eagles at 2.5. Those are the 2 I would recommend. Or you can get the Packers up to an 8.5 as well. If you want the Steelers, you can get the Steelers up to an 8 as well with the Lions down to a 2. So I think the Lions could be a good teaser piece as well. But for me, I'm just on the Lions -7 in this game. I got them 7 -125 earlier in the week. So. Yeah, so there we go. Head back to the chat. Going to overtime, 75% of regulation, 25%. Yeah, I had the -1 line, so I pushed. So Lions -6.5 and Bears under 29.5 boosted +109. There you go. Largest bet of the day. Good luck. Good luck. We'll move on here. Definitely this won't be a popular opinion on this game. But Raiders and Dolphins. Dolphins -14, total 45 in this game. Let's get into the line history here between Vegas and Miami. We have this line opened up. Look ahead line 10, opening line 10.5, all the way up to 14. Look ahead line 48, opening line 49, down to a 44. So a big move towards the under in this game as well, which is kind of interesting there. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game here. And basically nobody wanting the Raiders in this spot. 85% of the tickets, 89% of the cash is on the Dolphins. And the line has moved towards nothing but the Dolphins. It opened up at a 10.5. It's up to a 14. 46% of the tickets, 78% of the cash is on the under. And the line has plummeted. Now, I wanted a little bit of the over in this game, but not with the way the market's moving. But you could say maybe this line's gone too far. Well, they're definitely wanting to keep me off, or maybe they're, who knows. But maybe that line's actually moving the correct way. But Dolphins team total under 30.5 could be an interesting look here as well. My main worry, though, is the Raiders giving up too many points here. I'm on the Raiders. This is a contest pick for me. Raiders +14 is what I got betting wise. It's a 13.5 for the contest. So I do have a little Raiders action there. So I do have the Raiders at +14 in this game. I will sprinkle this money line just because I'm a psychopath. Only a tenth of a unit though. +660, tenth of a unit play. Definitely nothing serious there, but one of these big double-digit favorites are going to lose today. I think it's the Dolphins. The Dolphins, the offense is elite. There's no question behind that. Their defense should not be letting this many points, in my opinion. This is a Dolphins defense, even off of a bye week, that I think will give up points. With this being a 44, I mean, I do lean over the total, but I don't know. They gave up 21 to Kansas City, 17 to New England, but 31 to Philadelphia. And then they've played a bunch of crap teams, which this is not a good team either. But they can give up points in this game. I think if the Raiders give us 20 points, then then they covered this game. So I'm on the Raiders with all them points and a small sprinkle on that money line. I am in a food coma. There you go, Jesse. There you go. Over 44.5. I lean that way. Maybe the line's just gone too far. But not something I'm playing. Got a favorite college basketball look. The one that grades out the best is where looks like Utah Valley. Utah Valley plus 2. Utah Valley plus 2 grades out the best. You were right. I was at 13.5 this morning, but went back to a 14. I anticipated that, but yeah. What's good? Stop to you. What's good? We'll move on to the second of 3 games here of double-digit favorites. We have the Dallas Cowboys 10.5-point road chalk against the Carolina Panthers, and it just moved up to an 11. Look ahead line 9.5, opening line 10.5. Now it's up to an 11. Look ahead line 41.5, opening line 42.5. It's up to a 43. So it moved towards the over. Damn it, I did not mean to X that out. Move towards the over, and a move towards the Cowboys, anticipating the Cowboys put up points in this game, which that offense has been as of late. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game, where we have 30% of the tickets, 71% of the cash is on the Panthers. No surprise, big bets coming in on Carolina. 28% of the tickets, 71% of the cash is on the under, but yet this line has been creeping up. And I could see this game going over the total. It's a 43. It's a 43? Yeah. And the Dallas Cowboys offense has just been humming. And the big bet, a lot of money coming on the under, the line moving towards the over, kind of tells a little bit of a story here. I do not trust the Carolina Panthers defense. Offensively, the Cowboys have been killing it as of late. They've gone over in 3 straight games in 4 of their last 5. Put up 49 against the Giants, 23 against the Eagles, 43 against the Rams, only 20 against the Chargers, but they gave up 42 against the Niners. So this has been an over team, these Dallas Cowboys, as of late. And on the flip side, Carolina, they have been more of an under team this year. That's just because their offense doesn't do anything. 13, 13, 15 in the last 3 games. They've gone under in 3 straight. Previous to that, they went over in 3 of 4, where they scored 21, 24, 13, and 27, but gave up 37, 21, 42, 42. I see this. Would it surprise anybody that this Cowboys team gets the over by themselves today? At 26.5 team total, that's kind of appealing because I do think the Cowboys get theirs. And I think if you like Dallas, you take their team total over 26.5 rather than laying 11 points with them. Because if they're going to cover, they're going to score those points. I have the game at an 11, so the 11 makes sense. I lean Cowboys team total over. I lean the full game over at 43. I might get to it. This is a 1:00 game. But yeah, I mean, this is a spot where it would be over. It would be an overplay for me, and it would be a lean towards the Cowboys team total. So Tim saying the Panthers, Cowboys look ahead towards next game. And here's the thing. That's why I would look more towards the team total with the Cowboys rather than the spread, because I could see this game being 31-23. 31-23. I mean, we could see it being that high of scoring a game. So I might pull the trigger on this over. I'm going to write that down as something to come back to. I want to take a little bit deeper of a look into it. This game is a 1:00 game, so I don't have too much time to look into it. But Dallas, Carolina, over 43, and maybe some Cowboys team total. At 20, 26.5, 27.5. 26.5. Kind of like that look. Because the Cowboys offense is just humming at the moment. Amara St. Brown over 100 yards. I could see that as well. And we head to the third and final double-digit spread. Minus 14 now for the Niners. Wow. Total 41 in this game. 41.5, my bad. Look ahead line for this game here. 10.5. Opening line. 10.5. Up to a 14. So nothing but Niners money in this game. I'd like to know why this line's moved like that. Look at line 42.5, opening line 42, down to a 41.5. So move towards the under here as well. Let's take a look here. 74% of the tickets, 59% of the cash is on the Niners. So that maybe explains the line movement up. 48% of the tickets, 54% of the cash on the under in this game. The line, I believe, moving in that direction as well. My line for this game was a 10. So seeing it up to a 14, I might have to take a shot here with the Buccaneers at this number. The Niners are getting scary, though, because they're getting healthy. And a healthy Niners team is not a team I particularly want to jump in front of. Should they be laying 2 touchdowns? I don't know. Have the Buccaneers come back down to earth? Maybe. They've covered in 3 in a row. They've lost 2 out of 3, but they're coming in off of a 20-6 win against the Tennessee Titans. Previous to that, they covered as 2.5-point dogs in a 2-point loss against Houston. They backdoor covered against the Buffalo Bills. I can see them backdoor covering in this game. Do I want to play this game, though? Is probably no. The Niners coming in off of a very satisfying win. Previous to that, though, they lost 3 in a row to the Bengals, Vikings, and Browns. It's 100% Buccaneers or nothing. And seeing that this line's gone up so high, maybe you just play the Buccaneers at 14 in this spot. But I'm not going to get involved with this one here. I do think this line's maybe moved too much, but it's just going to be a lean for me towards Tampa at the moment. Just a lean. And we'll keep on moving on now. Big line movement in this game, assuming that Stafford is playing. So we had the Rams now as 1-point favorites with a total of 46. Look ahead line was Seattle 2.5. It got the opening line was Seattle 2.5. It's now Rams -1. So a 3.5-point line movement towards the Rams. Matthew Stafford most likely in then. Look ahead line 44.5. Opening line 43.5. Now to a 46. So a big move towards that over as well in this game. We have 75% of the tickets, 82% of the cash is on the Rams. The line has moved 3.5 points towards the Rams. Also, Stafford's in, so probably that has an impact as well. 44% of the tickets, 52% of the cash is on the under, and the line had moved towards the over, but I believe that line movement is because of injury status. I think that line probably was about correct at that 43 range, 44 range. Am I playing this game? No, I'm not, especially with the big line move. I did have the Rams as a 1-point favorite in this game, 1.5. So I do think this line is correct now. If you wanted the Rams, you've missed your line. They were +3 earlier in the week. This is a no play for me. No play. I think this line's correct. So passing on Seahawks, Rams here. Thinking over 41, I could see it. I feel like if you like the over in that game, just take the Niners team total because they're going to put up 30 points. That I think if you like the over in that game, that's the type of game you're looking for there. McCaffrey 2 touchdown game to start a new streak. Yeah, I'm not betting that game. So we'll move on though. This is an interesting one here. I am looking a little bit into this game here. We have the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills. This is up to an 8 now. Wow, this line's moved. The Jets are now 8-point dogs. Total of 39 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot. The look-ahead line for this game was Bills 6.5. Opening line was Bills 7. It's up to an 8. Look-ahead line 40.5. Opening line 40 down to a 39. Move towards the under and a move towards the Bills in this game here. The Bills, who can't cover a point spread, just lost outright on Monday Night Football, and the line's moving towards them. 35% of the tickets, 75% of the cash on the Jets, and the line's moving the opposite way. 78% of the tickets, 96% of the cash on the under, and the line's moving towards the under here in this spot. I do kind of agree with that under. I think I might end up moving on the under in this game. I had that game at a 6.5, so I see slight value with the Jets. Do I want to bet the Jets? Not particularly. I will look at the under in this game, though. And if you like the under, it's a -145. I was going to say maybe you take a Buffalo Bills team total under as well. But for me, I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on the under here. I'm seeing 39.5 at -115. I'm going to grab the under here, under 39.5 between the Jets and the Bills. The Jets have been a really solid under team. They've put up, I don't think they've scored an offensive touchdown since the Eagles game. 13-10 win against the Giants, 27-6 loss against the Chargers, 16-12 loss against the Raiders. This is not a team that's playing good offensively at the moment. The Bills have struggled as of late as well. They haven't covered in 6 in a row. But for this game here, just give me a low-scoring game. Can the Jets compete in this game? For whatever reason, the Jets have given the Bills fits as of late. They've covered in 3 in a row against the Bills, the Jets. The 22-16 overtime win on opening night on the Monday night game to start the year. They covered as 10-point dogs, 20-12 last year in December, and last year in November they won outright as 11-point dogs, 20-17. So this is a Jets team that's giving the Bills fits as of late. I just like the under 39.5 here for me between the Jets and the Bills. Got the Seahawks -1 earlier in the week. I'm against the market in most games this Sunday, it seems like. Fair. Jets +7.5. I mean, I don't hate the hook in a line that much that low. My guy only went for the Lions and the Jags. I am on the Lions. I'm not on the Jags. I'm on the opposite side there. Where do you get the line info from? I need that. DM me. I'm not going to say the website out loud because it's a competitor for me. So I'm not going to advertise them. But I use them for line movement. So we'll head to Sunday Night Football though. We have the Minnesota Vikings and the Denver Broncos in this game. Broncos 2.5-point favorites, total of 42 in this game. Look ahead line was Denver -2.5. Opening line was Denver -2.5. It is now Denver -2.5. Look ahead line for the total 43. Opening line 43.5 down to a 42. I grabbed the 43.5 under right off the rip when this line first dropped. 51% of the tickets, 61% of the cashes on the under. Lines move towards that direction. 45% of the tickets, 65% of the cashes on the Broncos. The line has not moved. I am on the Vikings again in this spot. The wrong team once again is favored. I'm also on the under, and I'm going to be on the first half under as well because it's a primetime game. First half under, full game under, and I'm on the Vikings. This is my last contest pick. Vikings plus I think it's 2.5 for the contest. I'll be keeping my eye out on how the spread moves. I got +110 earlier in the week. I'm not very happy that the line has moved to 127. Should have waited. But I got 43.5 earlier in the week with the total. I would still play it at 42 because primetime unders are still a thing for that. But I'm going to be on. I'm going to wait. If later in the day there are threes popping up, I will grab some Vikings at 3. I do have the money line already, but I will look to grab them at 3 here. So there's that. But I am on the Broncos under. I'm on the under, and I'm on the Vikings for this game. That's my last contest play for that one. But we will head. We have a chat. Let me type up this game real quick, and it's up to an 8.5. Okay. We'll quickly touch on this game here because I can, and I will. That's a versus. Because there is, before we head into hockey, there is a championship game today. So we're going to talk about it. We head to the CFL, the Grey Cup Finals. The Montreal Alouettes are taking on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Let's take a look at the line history in this game. I do not have cash flow because Action Network does not have Canadian football, which is annoying. I would like them to, but they don't. let's take a look at the cash flow or at the line history of this game here. Look ahead line, or opening line, my bad. There was no look ahead line. This matchup was not determined the week in advance. Opening line -7. It's now up to an 8.5. So it's moved a 1.5 towards Winnipeg. Line opened up at a 47. It's up to a 47.5. The 15-4 Winnipeg Blue Bombers defeated the BC Lions 24-13 last week to punch their ticket to, I believe, their 4th consecutive Grey Cup final. On the flip side, the Montreal Alouettes stunning upset 38-17 over the Toronto Argonauts last week as 10.5-point underdogs. They forced 9 turnovers in that game. The defense looked awesome. Chad Kelly and that Toronto offense looked lost. And I think that continues into this one here. I like Montreal. I like them plus the points. I like them on the money line, and I grabbed a little Montreal team total at 19.5 at -110. This Montreal team is clicking at the moment, and when you look at what they've done heading into this game, both these teams are coming in hot. By the way, Winnipeg on 5 straight wins. Montreal has won 7 in a row. Granted, the strength of schedule has not been there other than Toronto last week. Calgary, Ottawa, Edmonton, Hamilton. But Montreal coming in on 7 straight wins. They've looked amazing as of late. They're the hot hand. They're the team that they struggled. They were that team that we knew who they were during the regular season. They beat the bad teams. They lost to the good teams. But with that being said, they got the win against Toronto, and now I think they get the win against these Blue Bombers. They lost both matchups this year. They were early in the year in July and August, 17-3 and 47-17. So they're both big blowout losses. But this is a different Alouettes team at the moment. The defense, it looks amazing. The offenses look good. I'm taking a shot here. Give me the Alouettes to win the Grey Cup here. +8. It's up to an 8.5. So you can get a better line now. +320. And then team total over 19.5. 2 teams going streaking. Which one gets the reality check? Just like the under. Fair enough. Now it's for the Sunday night game. But we will head in. We have. Does that line movement thing you use work for other sports? Yes, it does. Stop or Untouchable. Just DM me and I'll let you know the site. But we'll kick it into hockey now. We have 4 games in the NHL. We're kicking it off here with the Flyers as -155 favorites against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Total 6.5 in this game. Let's flip over to the NHL. The first game already finished for the day. It was 4-3 Toronto. But we have 4 games here. Columbus and Philadelphia. The line opened up at a 150. It's up to a 153. Line opened up at a 6.5 -110. It's a 6.5 at -109. Let's flip to the NHL for the markets here. Don't really care much about markets when it comes to the NHL, but I know people like to hear it. 80% of the tickets, 94% of the cash is on the Flyers. 58% of the tickets, 83% of the cash is on the over. And the line had moved slightly towards the under, and it's moved towards the Flyers. I forgot to put the goalie ratings in here. And that's because it's most like Harrison. With Harrison in net, I really am not a fan of this Flyers team if it's going to be Samuel Harrison, which on the second half of a back-to-back, I can't imagine they go up to Harrison or to Hart again in this game. Yeah, it's most likely Harrison. And with Harrison in net, I mean, this could be a live dog here in the spot with the Columbus Blue Jackets. Blue Jackets have really struggled as of late. They're coming in off of a loss as well. They played yesterday as well. They played in Washington. Now they travel to Philly. And Philly with an overtime win against Vegas last night. So very, very this could be a letdown spot for the Flyers. They play Columbus after a big overtime win, but they have won 4 in a row, this Flyers team. But I do think there's a goaltender edge with Merce Leakins in net rather than over Earson if they go with Merce Leakins. And that's the other question. Is it Merce Leakins or is it Spencer Martin? Am I looking to get involved with this game? Not particularly. If you tell me it's Merce Leakins and Earson, maybe I take laying $1.55 with Earson and the Flyers sounds absolutely terrible. But do you trust Columbus is the ultimate question? And the answer is probably no. But I see a live dog in this game if we're getting Earson in it. I really do. I need to see a little bit more for this game, but Columbus could end up on the card. It would be Columbus or nothing. It would be dog or pass for me in this game. And it probably will end up being a pass. Football will be going on during that time, so I'll have other stuff, but definitely not interested in the Flyers laying this type of number, even on a 4-game win streak. The NH Corral. All right. I need the Drake Bulldogs to close ground 37-36. Nola, 7 years. Yep, there it is. 7 years, $127 million. Oh, Andrew Thomas is active for the Giants today. That's good to see. 7 years, $172 million. Well, he's resigned. Drake up 37-36. First half, there you go. It's going to be Spencer Martin. That would make sense too. Under to me. Yeah. Spencer Martin's not been bad. Actually, I had Spencer Martin written down now, not Merce Leakins, my bad. Yeah, so yeah. Yeah. I'm fine with Spencer Martin. That's not a problem with me whatsoever. And maybe I just play Columbus. Maybe I just play Columbus in this game, just because the line's too wide. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll write Blue Jackets down as a potential look. But we'll see. We'll see. Vegas Golden Knights and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Vegas Golden Knights -110. Total 6.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot. Vegas coming in off of an overtime loss yesterday against the Flyers. They opened up at a 111 favorites. Now it's to a 113. Line opened up at a 6.5, and they've remained there. We have 86% of the tickets, 90% of the cash is on the Knights in this game with very limited sample size. 70% of the tickets are on the over in this game as well. And it's going to be Magnus Hellberg most likely, and it's going to be Adin Hill. Adin Hill has been the better of the two goaltenders between him and Logan Thompson. I lean Knights in this game. I think this line's pretty spot on. I would have this line maybe -120, -125 for the Vegas Golden Knights. Vegas Golden Knights have been regressing a little bit as of late. And I kind of saw that in their numbers that they've been overachieving a little bit. Pittsburgh kind of saw that they were going to go on a little bit of a run. They have as well. Do I want the Penguins off of in this type of spot? This is a tricky slate. This is a very, very tricky slate. Penguins 8-8 on the year. They're 3-5 away at home, but they're 5-3 away from home. Vegas 13-3-2. So they've been obviously the better team so far this year, but they've been regressing as of late. This feels super tricky. As for a total in this game, maybe you lean under at a 6.5. This could be an under. Both these teams have been slight under teams this year. Track history has been a ton of overs, though. 5 straight overs between these two teams. So not particularly a spot that I'm going to look to get involved with here. So it'll be a pass for me. Pass. But I'll lean towards the Knights and the under. Lean Knights, lean under. No play for me. Mers played yesterday for the Blue Jackets. Yeah. Got to be Spencer Martin. I like the Flyers. Seahawks will be a public play. I could see it, but I've actually seen more money on the Rams. That's why the line's moved. Over. VGK equals equal amounts on money line in 60-minute, second largest bet of the day. There you go. I lean VGK. I do lean VGK. This is a tough hockey slate, though. And talk about hockey slate now. This feels like a day of these dogs feel too big, but do you trust the dog? And this is another one here. This dog feels too big, but do you trust the dog? We have the Buffalo Sabres and the Chicago Blackhawks. It's in Chicago. Sabres minus 170 road favorites, total 6.5 in this game. Once again, do you trust the dog? Line opened up at a 150 yesterday. It's up to a 171, so a big line movement towards Buffalo. Line opened up at a 6.5 and minus 120. It's still a 6.5 and minus 120. So really no move on the total here in this spot. We have 66% of the tickets, 64% of cash is on the puck line. 85% of the tickets, 96% of the cash is on the Buffalo Sabres. 88% of the tickets are on the over. My projections for this game I have Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and Peter Mrazek. It could be Devin Levi. Regardless, I think the goaltender advantage is with the Blackhawks in this game, which sounds weird, but Mrazek has actually been pretty good this year. I mean, and this could be just I play Columbus and Chicago today and hope one wins type of situation. It's Chicago or nothing for me at plus 152. It's Chicago or nothing. Do I get to it? I don't know. I don't know if I get to it or not. Once again, obviously they're too big of a dog in this game. They are on a back-to-back. Buffalo is rested. They last played in Winnipeg on Friday. They did not play yesterday. And the Blackhawks played against Nashville. They got heavily outplayed. It's a tough game. It's a tough game. I'll probably end up with something on the Blackhawks in this game. This line's too wide, in my opinion. So it would be a lean towards the Blackhawks, but I'll probably end up on them. I'll probably end up with some Blackhawks money line at plus 150 range. It's a tough slate today in the NHL, especially with all the NFL going on. I would like to get some action in the NHL because this is when the lines are the softest, and maybe that just means I play Columbus, VGK, and Chicago and just move on. But we'll see. It's dog or pass for me here in this game. With probably a little bit stronger of a lean towards the dog. So that's kind of where we're looking for that one there. Sabres day, Sabres money line over and anytime goal with Skinner. Yeah. I don't know. It's tricky. Final game of the slate. St. Louis Blues and the Anaheim Ducks. And the Ducks are underpriced again. They are. Minus 110. It's going to be Hofer in net for the Blues, which is terrible. So, I mean, actually, he's been slightly below average this year, 13.7714. I'm punching in the numbers because the Blues finished late last night, so I did not punch in all the numbers for this game. And who is it? It's most likely Lucas Dostal for the Ducks, which started off the year pretty good, but he's struggled a little bit as of late. Both these goaltenders have upside. Hofer is meh. And looking at this game, actually, this line's priced pretty correctly. The Blues are coming in off of getting embarrassed last night, 5-1 against the Kings. Previous to that, they got blown out as well. Let's take a look at the line history in this game. Line opened up at a 107. It's now a 110. So the line's moved slightly towards the Anaheim Ducks. I don't see any line movement on the total. 65% of the tickets, 96% of the cash is on the Ducks in this game. And the line's moved towards the Ducks. It's probably another pass here. I think I'm just going to move on. I'm going to move on Columbus and Chicago. I think that's the way I'm going to play today. Is Columbus plus 136, Chicago plus 152. Hope one wins, split out, and make money. I just played both of them. This is not a game I'm going to get to. I would lean Ducks. Not enough conviction for me, though. So my only NHL plays are going to be Columbus at 136 and Chicago at 152. I had the Leafs earlier, too. So yeah. Blues in the under again. Yeah, I don't trust Hoffer. I do not trust Hoffer. If it was Bennington, yeah. Blues, Ducks over 6. And it's mighty Duck purple jersey Sunday again. Ooh. Ducks. You're wild to bet the Blue Jackets. Yeah. I mean, not gonna lay that type of number with the Flyers. See value on the Blue Jackets, so happens. We're not gonna agree on everything, but I'm just asking to go 1-1 today, and then I can make some money. But that is everything for today's show, which means it is time for
housekeeping.
If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications so you guys are notified each and every time we go live here at ESB, which is every single morning, anywhere between 10 and 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Earle Sports Bet Show. Quick little recap over today, and then we will head on out. I think I'm going to end up adding that Dallas over 43 to my card. But in the NHL, Columbus 136, Chicago plus 152. That's all I've got in the NHL today. In the NFL, oh wow, that's up to a 140 now. I got to Cleveland at minus 132. I have them -4 from earlier in the week. Texans, I got them at -4. I'd play them at 5.5. I'd play them up to 6. LA, Green Bay, over or under 44. Over will be in the Giants-Commanders game, over 39, and the Giants over 13.5 team total. Titans +7, plus 255. I got the Lions at 7. I wouldn't play them at 8. Raiders 4 plus 14. I'm going to move on the over 43 between Carolina and Dallas. I'm going to stay off of the Dallas team total in that game. I lean Buccaneers, did not play it. Did not play anything in that Seahawks game. Under 39.5, Jets, Bills, Vikings money line, Vikings, Broncos, first half under 20.5, full game under 43.5. What I got, I would still play at the 42. And that is all for today's slate. But that's going to do it. Let's go quick one last time for the chat, and then yeah. Thanks for the show. Not a problem. No Timmy and no NBA. I didn't even look at the NBA. I'll be straight up. I'm focusing on hockey and NFL for today. Yo. What is good, Joe Kryptonite? But that is going to do it for today's show. We'll catch you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. for another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. Good luck, guys.